Let's take a walk down memory lane, shall we? This is a collaboration project with Jim the Gentleman Crafter, Kathryn Krieger of Kathryn Scraps, and yours truly, Paper Phenomenon. This is an old project, so bear with me and the old footage, but it's so worth watching. I hope you guys love it. Let me know what you think in the comments if you enjoy older content like this, and I can't wait to read what you guys think about it. Enjoy.
Hello, everyone. Let's start the construction to the house. So you're going to need two pieces at 5 by 8, two pieces 2 by 5, and three pieces 4 by 8. This is medium weight chipboard, and you can get medium weight chipboard at joannes.com, at createforless.com. There's a link on my blog to Create for Less. You can find it on the top left-hand corner of my blog, and it'll link you to the site where I get my chipboard. All right. Then you're going to need 8 hinges cut at 5 inches by 1.5 inches. You're going to score on the 1.5 inch side right down the middle at 3/4 of an inch. Then you're going to prep each hinge with double-sided tape, as you can see here. Notice I've avoided the fold. So here is my tape placement. There's my fold, and my tape is approximately 1/16 of an inch away from the fold. Doesn't have to be perfect, just don't get it on the fold, okay? So to make these pieces of the chipboard look like a house, what I want you to do is take your first piece, and I want you to measure from the bottom up 5 inches. And you could do the same thing on the opposite side, 5 inches, and you're going to make a little mark. Okay. Then I want you to find your center on the top side, which is the 4 inch side, and that's at 2 inches. Then I want you to draw some lines connecting the dots. All right. So you'll draw some lines on an angle, and you're going to be left with something like that. Then what I like you to do is cut on the lines that you drew. And I like to use a ruler and craft knife. Okay, I prefer to use a non-skid ruler for things like this. And this is a Martha Stewart non-skid ruler. So I'm going to get my craft knife and I'm going to cut. You want to make sure you are cutting right on the line, okay? So just give it a couple of strokes with your knife until you work your way all the way through the chipboard. Okay, you don't have to just dive right in there and try to cut it on the first time because that's just too much work. So on the other side, place your ruler directly over the line and cut. Follow through with the blade. It's always easiest to cut toward you and then remove the sections. So now you have this piece here that you can use as a template, which works out really well. You can discard these two pieces. So now you can take the remaining two pieces that measure the 4 by 8 and use them as a template. You don't have to do any more measuring. Just like that. And now this one, 4 by 8. Right, so now let's cut these two pieces. And I'm doing this all with you here real time, guys. Well, as real time as it gets, okay? It's because I've already pre-cut my chipboard, so that doesn't count, right? It's really simple cuts though, not too complicated on the cuts. All right. I love building things. It's obviously you guys know I love building things, so this is just right up my alley. And now for the third piece. And again, just make a few strokes with your knife until you work your way all the way through the chipboard. You do not have to try to cut through that chipboard on the first try. It's just too much work and you can wind up hurting yourself. So that's not what we're going for here. So again, lining up the straight edge of the ruler with the pencil mark, taking your knife and making several strokes until you work your way all the way through the chipboard, removing the suction. All right, so now let's get rid of these parts that we do not need. Now what we're going to do is assemble. Assembling is always fun. So to assemble these pieces, the first thing you're going to do is take your paper hinges and you are going to, doesn't matter which side, just attach it to one of the 5-inch sides. Okay? Like so. So for this first piece right here, you're going to attach the 2-inch pieces. Okay? So to attach this properly, you want to line up the cut edge of the chipboard with the fold on the paper hinge without going over. All right, to see how I can fold my hinge without any resistance, that's what you want to do. So now for the 2-inch pieces, the way I like to do this is I take the cut edge of the chipboard and I place it into the fold of the paper hinge. I make sure that my corners line up. So again, into the fold of the paper hinge, not on top of the chipboard. So right in the fold, make sure that my corners line up. Then I lift the paper hinge onto the other side of the side panel, onto the side panel, and I secure it. Then you get perfect place spacing in between your chipboard pieces. Now let's go for the other side. There we go. Beautiful. That's what you should be looking like right about now. Then you're going to go ahead and attach 2 more hinges. And these will allow you to attach your piece to, well, actually, that's okay. Go ahead and attach them to the house structure. All right, so now you want to set this to the side. Okay, so that's going to do that. So now let's set this to the side. Now we're going to work with the 2 5-inch pieces along with the 4x8. And you are going to do that. See that right there? So let's go ahead and attach our paper hinge like so. Then we're going to attach the 5x8 piece. And I would like for you to place it again into the fold of the paper hinge and then lift the hinge up into place. You don't have to worry about wondering whether you and I are using the same chipboard, whether you're leaving the right amount of space. You can use your own chipboard and the spacing in between the chipboard pieces will always be correct if you do your assembly like so. Again, into the fold with the paper hinge and then just attach the final piece. Come on, right there, beautiful. Once again, final piece. Now we're going to need another hinge to assemble our house, right? So now we're just going to, doesn't matter if you attach it here or over here, doesn't matter. Like so. Just like that. And then you're going to assemble your house. Well, don't assemble it just yet. Let's cut our roof line out and then we will, because it'll be easy. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's go for it. Let's see some progress here. Again, into the fold of the paper hinge. Make sure your corners line up beautifully. And there you go. Okay. So next we will cut out our roof line. If you notice, this will go like this right here. See that? To get a three-dimensional house. How fun. So I'll be back with another video. For the large roof line, you're going to cut two pieces at 9.5 by 4.5, and you'll need one paper hinge at 9.5 inches. So let's go ahead and put these two pieces together. We're going to just attach it via the paper hinge, just like we've been doing everything else. And now the other piece, you want spacing. So again, just like that, placing the piece into the fold and then securing the other side of the hinge. Like so. So the next thing I need you to do is to pick the side that's going to be to your far right. All right, see that right there to my far right? And I'd like you to make a mark at 5/8 of an inch from the edge. So here's my 5/8 of an inch mark. Ready? 5/8 of an inch. Make sure I got that right. I do. Then I want you to make a mark from the 5/8 of an inch mark at 3/4 inches. And make a line. Then I want you to move over from the 3/4 inch mark 4 inches. And you make a line. Draw a line, I should say. And then about an inch from the bottom, and I got to do it this way, sorry about that. About an inch from the bottom, please. Now, I want you to cut this area out right here. Okay? So with your scissors, whatever you want, I'm going to go ahead and cut outside the line just to make sure I have enough space. And then for this side here, I'm going to use my craft knife and my scissors. Okay. And you can use it everywhere you want, but this is not going to show, so I'm not too worried about it. All right, so this will allow your house or your roof line, everything to just come together. All right, so you remove that section, and this is the way it's going to go. So this should, see that should line up right there with the edge of the house. Okay, don't worry, we're going to cover all of that up. So this 5/8 of an inch line should be your guide as to where you're going to attach it. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and do that right now? So you want to cut your paper hinges to this length, which is approximately, I forgot my measurement already. What did I say, 8 inches? Yeah. So you need 2 at 8 inches. Then you're going to need 2, 4 at 3, approximately 3.5 inches. All right, so I'll be back. All right, so I have my hinges cut. And you now are going to fold so that the tape is facing you, please. Place the hinge on the inside of the box. Line it up with the cut edge of the chipboard. So the fold and the cut edge of the chipboard should line up, and you should have something that looks like that. Now you're going to do it to the side. Okay. So line it up with the edge of the chipboard. Whoopsie, that is not the edge of the chipboard. Really close to the edge piece. See that right there? I'd like you to cut off the excess. Perfect. We have that. Now this side. So the fold should be lining up with the cut edge of the chipboard. And again, we want to do that. Get in there as best you can, okay? And let me trim a little bit more off. All right, perfect. Maybe a little bit more. Right. Now that's perfect. Okay, so now I have two that look like that. Now let's do the final 8-inch side. Perfect. Okay, and then these two last sides. And you can taper if you want to beforehand. That makes life a little easier, but yeah, just taper one side like so. And just line it up like that. And just taper the other side. And that just makes life a lot easier, but it's all good. You have that. See, when you do it like this, you get that perfect mitered edge here. I'm kind of off a little bit, but either way works. Now what you want to do is remove the tape backing. Okay. Remove the tape backing. We want to make sure that these stick together like so. Like so, like so, like so. Let's clean up our workspace so we can mess it up again. Now, you want to attach your roof line. Remember, you want this square to be to the right. And what you want to do is you want to line up that 1/8 of an inch score line with the very edge of the box. That is important. So, this is what I like to do. I made the same marks on my other side just because I am not very good at getting things on straight. So, I need help. So once I get one side on, then I stick it down. See that? Then I get wood on another side. Then when we stick it down, and then my other side will just fall into place. Hopefully. That's the plan, right? And you just stick it out right in there. And make sure you furnish. You want to ensure a really good stick. So take my bowling folder and burnish it inside the box. On the side panels as well. Whoopsie. Don't bend too hard. Don't burnish too hard. Jack up your whole box. All right. And then that looks like that. So now all that's left to do is you're going to secure this piece and everything. See that? That goes right inside here. And ta-da! Everything should be hunky-dory. So let's stick it on. Makes me very excited when everything works out the way it's supposed to. So the best thing to do is to line up the edge of this hinge with the edge of the box. That is the best thing to do here. Make sure it lines up with with the bottom. Come on, there you go. Then you can do this one. So this edge lines up with the edge right here. Do that. Whoopsie. Come on, people. Come on, let's do what I want. And also with that 4-inch mark that you made somewhere. Somewhere, wherever you made it, it should line up. Okay, perfect. So now let's cut our remaining roof line, which is going to be just a little bit sloped so everything can fit nicely. And then we'll put our tower to our church, and it's just going to be fab. All right, so making houses is super easy, guys. Well, if you keep them simple like this way. All right. But it's a lot of fun. So just burnish everything into place, and I'll be back with the second roof line. All right, so for this roof line right here, you want to cut two pieces at 4.5 by 4.5, and then two hinges, well, one hinge, sorry, at 4.5 inches long. What I'd like you to do with this piece is to measure 5/8 of an inch, please, like so, and that is 5/8 of an inch. Then from this 5/8 of an inch line, I'd like you to measure 1 1/4. All right, 1 1/4. Then I'd like you to draw a line from the point to the very bottom of this line, like so. Whoa. Now I'd like you to cut on that diagonal line, please. So let's get our cutting board, non-skid ruler, and our blade, our prop knife. And let's cut ruler directly over the line and just kind of cutting with your blade, removing the section. Okie Then you want to use this piece as a template to make your second piece. All right, and I've already done that, as you can see right here. So what you want to do is, really doesn't matter which side, but you want to glue these together. Whoopsie. Hang on. Kathy can't think for a minute here. Wrong way. Long side. So you want to glue these together on the long side, and you're going to see that everything's just going to be perfection. So let's glue these together on the long side. That's why this is cut at 4.5 inches. It's sometimes, I always say I'm not good at puzzles. I don't know why. Takes me a good minute to think about where the puzzle piece should go, and it's like right in front of my face. Oh well. All right, so then you want to glue this one like so, which is kind of weird because I do this. I know. I can't understand it myself. All right, so now we've got our roof line, and just to test it to make sure everything is just peaches. See, again, I was going to put it the wrong way. So you want everything to line up. These two roof lines down here should line up. This should line up. Everything should line up. Okay? Everything. So before you attach this, you want to decide if you want to cover this area first. You want to do some shingles or whatever the case may be. You want to do shingles. I do not recommend that you put them across here. So never mind. Just go ahead and do this because that would be best. All right. And I'm going to put my hinges on the outside so it can cover up that seam. So let's go for it. So I'm going to, whoopsie, come on. I'm going to start off with a 12-inch hinge, and you can measure if you want to. Here, I just put it on in there, and I just cut when you can measure. And then I'm going to cut another one because I need two. And I'm going to make sure they're exactly the same size. And I'm going to stick this to the inside just like we did before. So we're doing the same exact thing, just for the short side over here. Let's see. Darn it. Oh well. I angled this the wrong way, but that's okay. I'll live. Now this was 2 inches. So we're going to get our hinge at 2 inches. And I'm going to cut one more. because I need 2. And it's going to be a little difficult to get your hand in there, but just work it. And then this side, over here. Okay, perfect. Now, what we did before was remove the tape backing and create this kind of, I don't know, this right here. Now, all right, so we have our tape on our paper hinges. Now let's go ahead and remove them. Like so. Now we're going to take our roof line and position it over our piece, line up our roof lines like so, and now secure them. Don't worry about that. We're going to seal that in just a moment. Okay, now, whoopsie. You clearly have to get a good stick, right? So hold it in place, and then you have to put your hand in there and burnish. Otherwise, you won't get a really good stick. Okay, burnish really well. And make sure you get a good stick. Now you're going to cut 2 paper hinges at, wish I could burnish a little more. I can. Okay, there we go. Okay, it's perfect. So now we're going to cut 2 paper hinges at 5 inches. And we're going to test these and make sure that they're perfectly in place. We have to angle these. And then they're going to cut. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to taper. Then I'd like you to apply some light blue. Then remove the tape backing. And that. Let's seals that up nicely. And you can hold that right there. So my hinge shouldn't work its way all the way down so it can make some contact. Okay, and over here, same deal. So I'm going to angle or taper. Into the tape backing. And then some more glue. Okay. Into what? Actually thinking 5 1/4 would have been best. Would have reached all the way down there, but I can live with that. You guys do 5 1/4. Okay? Okay. So now all that's left is to put our foundation on and create our windows and our steeple. All right, so now let's create the roof line. You're going to need 4 pieces at 2 by 3, then 1 piece at 2.5 inches square, then 4 paper hinges at 3 inches. So you're going to find the center to this 2 by 3, which is 1.5 from the bottom, and then 1/2 inch from the side, and then 1 inch. So 1.5 inches from the bottom, like so. then 1 inch from the side. So I'm perfect right there. Then you want to draw your lines from the corner of the chipboard piece to the dots or your pencil marking. Okay. Then you want to cut this out. Okay. Once you cut it out, it's going to look like this. Okay. So you're going to need two pieces that look like this and then two pieces that look like this. Okay. So the way this is going to come together is like this. So you want triangle piece, no triangle piece, triangle piece, no triangle piece. So now let's assemble. And you want to clean this up. Then no triangle piece. And again, placing the cut edge of the chipboard into the fold of the paper hinge. Same deal. That's how I construct everything unless otherwise instructed. Okay. And this we do not need to do anything to. Now, triangle piece. Donkey. Now, trim. Paper hinge. Trim. Now, straight piece. Like so. Then one more hinge so we can attach. Well, that is not right. Let's try it again. Okay, great. Now that is right. And now this will allow us to attach this entire piece. Now, I like to apply wet glue into the gaps just so you can have a really nice sturdy piece. And I typically do that to all of those pieces, but I forgot. Now fold it over, place the triangle piece into the fold of the hinge, and ta-da! Clean it up, lay it in there. Make sure all of your hinges are in place. Now this is just going to go right over there. See that, how that forms your chimney? And this will also form the tower right here. We're just going to add another piece on top. Okay? Wondering if I should do, change of, I think we're changing this. This is going to be the piece here, and I'm going to make a smaller chimney. Instead of 2 inches, we're going to do it at 1.5 inches. But let me figure that out very quickly. We're still going to need this piece here. And to attach this piece, we can do it via paper hinges, or we can just glue it on there. But let's not take no shortcuts. Let's do paper hinges. 2 inches, 4 pieces, please. And I've got some scraps here already cut, so I'm just gonna take my 2-inch piece and I'm gonna make 4 2-inch pieces. That one's 2 inches. Now this one will be 2 inches. So now we're just going to line the inside of this piece here with our hinges. Make sure it's up. Otherwise, we won't be able to get to it, or it'll be a mess. Hurry. It's too chunky for a chimney, so I think I'm going to change that measurement, but I'm not quite sure yet. This one needs to be trimmed a little bit. Right in there. Great. So now let's remove the tape backing. Eat all pieces and more. And just like I did before, we're going to create this little thing, the thingy here. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to center this right over. Hopefully it is centered. Come on. Decentered. Should have roughly. There we go. That looks good. Now you can take your bulb holder and place it on the inside. So just make sure everything's nice and secure. And now we're going to create another piece that goes right on top of this. Just press down firmly. And then this will attach right here to the very front. And it's looking like a church, people. All right, so one more. Let me cut my pieces. And I will be right back. All right, so for the top level, you're going to need 4 pieces at 4x2 and another piece at 2.5 inches square. And for this piece, you're going to create an archway. And I'm using this Scotch quick dry bottle, the 2 ounces. And I'm going to position it. Let's see, let's get an exact measurement so you guys can see what I got going on here. About 3/4 of an inch away from each top piece, from the top of the piece. That's where I'm going to start. And you just have to do one, so then the rest will be a template. So right there, you want to center it as best you can, and you're going to create a little arch. See that? And then you're going to follow through. And leaving about, let's see, what did I need? 3/8 of an inch from the sides, so that you know it's perfectly centered. Okay, see, we created a little arch. Now, it's going to be a little hard to cut in there. You will have to cut with your scissors, with your craft knife in there. But I'll just start it off with my scissors. So then I just have to cut a little archway. Well, let's see if I get rid of this, if I can get in there with my scissors. Maybe if I use a smaller pair of scissors, I can as well. Oh, I can do it with my scissors. Great. Now what you want to do is do this to all 4. So now use this as a template. Cut all 4 pieces out. Oopsie. That's a little clicking, right? Okay. So needs I can get that into work. All right, so now let's cut them all out. Cutting along the straight lines first. Then you need the excess. Okay, now go around this way. It's easier for me to maneuver. So Perfect. Then the side. It's good. These straight lines first. Getting rid of this giant piece here that I do not need. Perfect. And last one. So we're making this entire house with no template. And this will give you a great jumping off point for making other houses to add to your village. Perfect. So now let's clean up on each space so I'm not confused. Perfect. And so this is going to go right on top of this flat surface. So let's cut 4 paper hinges down to 4 inches, please. And I've got a bunch of paper hinges started here, so I don't know if I'm going to have, let me see what happens when I have to clean these up. Otherwise, I'll have these make some really thin ones, which I don't want to. I mean, but don't want to. Oh, I don't mind thinning it up. Super easy. Okay, perfect. So I'm mind thinning it up. Boom. Next. Now you want, make sure you got to clean them up one right after you're done, because then it's going to be really hard to maneuver in there, okay? You try to get the pen marks on the inside, the pencil marks, just in case I don't want them to show through my paint. So I distort them that right now. Perfect. Last one. So we've got a perfect archway. And of course, guess what we're going to put in this archway? A bell. What church does not have a bell? Gotta have a bell. This one does not want to cooperate. It's only me. So, okay, there we go. You can also get in this archway if you have the passageway precision, can never say that word right. Sanding toolkit. You can also get in those archways. And I know I have it, but I have no idea I must have moved it from the original place because I can't find it, but I'll get to it. So let's attach this one here. And this one will be the final one that assembles everything. Mhm. So a little bit, especially for this piece, a little bit of glue, because this has such thin walls. We don't want it to be wobbly. No wobbly. Oh my God. Finish that off like so. Perfect. How perfect is that? Now let's hang this up right here. Okay, so let's make sure that that dries nice and square. Let's get our final, our 2.5-inch piece. Okay, perfect. Now we want to get 4 paper hinges for now that measure 2 inches. Okay. And I've got some scraps here. So while that's drying, we'll just go ahead and cut our paper hinges. Use this scrap here. And one more. And you have to put this on the top because then we're going to add just one more piece. I know. One more piece, I promise. And these definitely, I don't want them to go over the archway. Otherwise, oh, perfect. What was the reason why I did 1 3/4 in front of the top? There's always a method to my madness, I tell ya. Okay. Yeah, it's getting kind of tight in there, so I'm just going to shorten these just a little bit. Okay. This bit. I'm just shorten this one just this teeny tiny bit. Oh. All right. So now let's remove the two backing. Let's do that. And then let's again. One more level. And then we are done with this. And we'll make our chimney. And attach a base. And that's super simple. This way you can see the bell from all sides. All right, and now this, to attach this here, we're just going to do Ah, and how cute. See that? Look at that. How adorable is that? So let me cut out our pieces and then we'll just attach everything. I'll be right back. All right, so let's create the last part to our little tower here. We're going to need some triangles. So you're going to start off with a 2-inch square. Then you're going to find your center, which is at 1 inch. You are going to make a mark with your pencil. And you're going to take your ruler and draw a line from pen mark to opposite corner. And from pencil mark to opposite corner. Then you're going to cut the triangle out. Like so. All right. Then you're going to need 4 triangles. Then 4 paper hinges that measure 2 inches. Okay. So let me get all of this up out of the way so you can get going. All right. So now let's attach. Okay. You want to cut off the excess. And then attach. Also, placing it into the fold, like so. Then cut that off. Again. And attach. And we'll have to fold it and do that. Okay. Then attach this 3rd triangle. Clean that up. Clean that up. And then we are good to go on that side. And then one more. Oh, 2 more. And just 1 more triangle. Clean that up. Folding. Folding that up. Final triangle piece. And cleaning it up. A final hinge. Now we're going to clean it up. And clean it up. And we're going to need another set of 2-inch hinges. Let's apply some glue. Okay. There. Into the fold, line up your corners as best you can, and go for it. Now, what I think will be super cool is if before you do anything with this, you can stick a little cross in there. So we can make a cross out of chipboard or 1/4-inch pieces. Okay. 1/4-inch strips, I mean. Let me try to cut a 1/4-inch strip here. Okay, so I have a 1/4-inch strip. Let's see, I can't get a 1/4-inch strip in there. On it. No, I cannot. All right, we'll have to do plan B. We'll just have to glue the little cross right on top. All right, glue it. Okay, so now let's put our hinges so we can attach this to this right here. See that? And let's cover that up. And you can actually just glue this on with hot glue. You don't even have to put the hinges on because you can just quickly have the around the inside first. It's cut a big lot. So when you turn it over, it'll, uh, triple down like that. And then you can just do that. And that's what we're going to have to do with the other piece as well. Okay, perfect. And we're going to have to do that here as well. I'm going to get some globs in there, which we will not see, because we're going to paint this. And this is going to be a winter shirt, so we can cover it up with glitter and fake snow. Okay, get that on there nice and straight. Perfect. Oh, how pretty. Now I need to make my cloth with my strip. So about this tall, I'm going to glue two pieces together. And this is roughly 1.5 inches. Glue that together. And then a 1-inch strip, approximately. Glue these two together. Like so. And then just do that right there. And we'll let, whoopsie, we'll let that dry. Perfect. Let that dry, and then we'll just glue that right there to the very top, to the tippy top. And I'm going to put a little, I shouldn't say glob, but a little mound of poppy there. And then this, I sit right on top. And so I don't burn myself, I usually take my tape backing and then I kind of clean off the hot glue. And just let it dry. Now that is sensational. Looks fantastic. I'll show you from the side profile in just a moment. Just may make sure my little cloth is dry. And it is. And there it is. Oh, well, maybe. There it is. How awesome is that? Just cleaning this up. Okay. It's still a little wet up. You can deal. Fantastic. Love it. Now we can glue it to the house. And we can do hot glue again. Oh, I gotta plug my hot glue gun in. It's getting cold. To wipe that off. And let me let my hot glue heat up again, and then we'll glue this to the top of the house or to the top of the church. So while the hot glue is drying, why don't we create our chimney? So chimney measurements now are 1.5 inches by 2.5 inches. So we found our center at 3/4 of an inch and 1 inch up from the bottom. Okay, so center is 3/4 of an inch and then 1 inch up from the bottom. We drew some lines from the corner of the chipboard to the pencil mark. And now we're going to cut. You're going to need two pieces like this. So now you want to use this piece as your template. And that's it. Okay. And two will stay straight. Then you'll need another piece at 2 inches square. Can't remember if I said that. But you will need paper hinges at 2.5 inches. 4 pieces, please. Then you're going to alternate these pieces. And again, cleaning out the hinge, please. And so, never cut really well like that. Now, straight piece. And last chipboard piece. Oh, exciting. And cleaning that up. Work. Last hinge. Now let's assemble our little chimney. Just makes me feel like breaking out in song right now, but I'm not. I will spare you all with singing. Place it into the fold of the paper hinge. Make sure your corners line up. Beautiful. Yeah, this is definitely more perfect for a chimney. Let's see. Yeah, the other was just too big for a chimney. All right, perfect. Now we need to attach this piece here. You can make a hole here in the center if you're going to have something sticking out. So I think I'm going to make a hole just in case. Then I will be able to punch a hole later on. So I'm going to just find my center, which is 1 inch. An inch up and 1 inch to the side. And you guys can see what I'm doing. Great. So there's 1 inch from the edge and 1 inch from the top. And I'm going to punch a hole right there just in case I want to stick something in there. I really didn't find on it, but we'll see. That way I have something to work with. And I'm just going to hot glue this puppy on there. Okay. My hot glue should be nice and warm already. And I'm also going to, hot glue it to my box. Got a little slobby at the there. Perfect. The beauty about this is that nothing sticks to it, so I can just get messy with it and just let it dry and it will peel right off. Love this full folder. All right, now let's glue this to our house. And you want it about 1 inch away from the edge, roughly be just fine. And again, the hot glue should be pretty close to the edge. You know, a big mound of it so it can kind of spill onto the house. Okay? Like so. Press down firmly to get a really good stick there. And let it dry. And that's what that looks like. That darling. Then we're going to do the same thing here. Get a really nice thick mound of glue. And you can use paper hinges if you want to, but no need when you got hot glue. It's great. Now this piece, about the same, 3/4 of an inch away from the edge I did this time. Let that set there and dry. And now let's talk about the base, okay? The base in this house, all depends if you want to put lights in here, if you're going to open anything or punch out some windows. I am just going to put big window panels here, and but it'll be very simple to just make holes into here if you want the lights to come for. Okay? That's entirely up to you. So that is just fabulous. So here's a little church. And it looks big because it's close up, but I'll take some pictures so you guys can see it. But it really looks fantastic. All right. So what I was going to say about the base is it all depends how much you want to decorate around the house. Okay. So I'm going to go for a 12-inch base and a 12-inch base, 12 by, see, like if I wanted to put a fence around here, I can totally go for a 12, let's see, 12 by 10 would be great. 12 by 10 will be my base, okay? And I'm just going to hot glue this puppy to the base, or you can do finishing hinges all the way around the base of the house and then glue it to your base. But I'll be back with that. All right, so I glued my base on, but I want to share with you guys that the base is now 10 by 10 inches. I went with a smaller base. And I put hot glue inside inside the house, and I also kind of lined it with hot glue all the way around so it can just be on there nice and sturdy. So next, I'm just going to paint my house white. All right, guys, so you can go ahead and paint yours whatever color you want. It all depends what look you're going for. So I'll be back with a painted house.